All cars want to kill me. That was my belief for 3 long days. Frustrating, right? It all started when I decided to come to the United States as an exchange student. On my first day, I woke up early, had a refreshing shower, put on my best outfit, very ready and excited to start this new journey. On my way to my very first important event, as I crossed the street, 2 reckless drivers were coming very fast toward me, but they slammed on their brakes just 1 foot away from me. At that moment, I couldn't understand what happened. I was so close to dying. I felt frustrated and couldn't say anything to these drivers because I even forgot how to speak in my third language, English. I lived my whole life in Tunisia, North Africa. It's not Indonesia, it's not Malaysia, it's Tunisia with a T. And had never been to any other country. In Tunisia, we don't use crosswalks for pedestrians. What we do instead is wait for space between cars and just cross the street. It is what I was doing in America, and it made me call my mom each evening to say, "Mom, it's serious. They're trying to kill me here." Apart from being targeted by all American drivers, my first day in the United States was really exciting. After living my entire life in a bubble, surrounded by friends and family, I found myself in a room with almost 200 students from 75 different countries. I was sitting at the same table with the students from the UK, Pakistan, Australia, France, and countries I had never heard about in my life, like the Federated States of Micronesia. On that day, I stepped out of the bubble a bit further. And guess what? I made friends from 3 countries: Spain, France, and Turkey. The next day, we met and had to do the most scary thing in America. Your guess is right. We had to cross the street. I was sweating, but the girl from Spain pressed these buttons and magic. You can't stop the traffic and cars wait for you to cross the street. So I asked them, "Do you have these in your countries?" They looked to each other and then answered, "Are you serious? We've known this since we were like 3 years old." At that moment, I felt Tunisia must be the only country that does not have crosswalks. I felt I am way behind their time. I need to be quiet, learn from them, because obviously, I have nothing to add to these people. But soon, I discovered I was wrong. One evening, I saw my friends from Spain and France feeling disappointed because they couldn't find an internship, despite sending over 15 emails. Now it was my turn to say, "Are you serious?" In Tunisia, I'm used to sending over 200 emails, not receiving a reply, not feeling disappointed about it. In my country, it's very hard to find opportunities. So that's why we are used to be very persistent and over-prepared. So my friends got inspired and started sending more emails. And in just 1 month, my friend from France secured an internship and did more than 10 interviews. What I discovered from this exchange is way more valuable than pressing a button or securing an internship. I discovered that cultural exchange extends to mutual learning and teaching. I taught them how to secure an internship. They taught me how to cross the street. So each person, regardless of their ethnicity, country, language, when exchanging together through our unique experiences, we learn from each other and we teach each other. Embracing this concept, I decided to step out of the bubble a bit further. So I attended a conference in the United States where entrepreneurs were asking for millions in funding, millions of dollars. It blew my mind because back in my country, we don't hear about such amounts. So I wondered, how can we create these kind of opportunities in Tunisia? And after a bunch of discussions with investors, I now have an idea about how to achieve that, on how to create a vibrant startup environment in Tunisia. What happened here is a very typical example of cross-cultural exchange. You go, exchange ideas, gain new insights, and then implement them in your environment. This exchange brings fresh perspectives and unlock hidden opportunities, opportunities you wouldn't even notice while sitting in your bubble. For instance, I met an entrepreneur in this conference. I liked her idea. But as an Arab living in the MENA region, I told her, your idea is great, but I think it is way more needed in the Middle East. And now, she's seriously considering expanding there. You see, it goes back and forth. We inspire each other, we learn from each other, opening doors we couldn't even notice for innovation and growth. Again, I challenged myself and decided to compete in the cybersecurity pitch competition at Boise Entrepreneur Week. What set this competition apart is, my mentor is American, my professor is Korean, my two tech-savvy friends are engineers, one from Uzbekistan and one from India, and I am from Tunisia, with a T. Together, we can literally make a UN conference. Each has a different experience. My Indian friend worked for an Indian startup. My professor has her own venture in Korea. My other friend worked in cybersecurity in Uzbekistan. At first, starting a discussion with this team seemed like a very bad idea. From my perspective, some suggestions they gave were too crazy. And some ideas were somehow irrelevant. I felt a huge gap of perspectives, references, experiences. But what helped me bridge the gap is active listening and trying to accept these ideas, analyze them, give them a chance, see what they can bring to the table. And the moment I did this, I uncovered new details, pain points, areas of improvements I couldn't even notice myself. When I gave these ideas a chance, we turned a simple concept into a winning idea in just 3 days. You heard it right. 3 days and won first place in the competition. This experience made me question my leadership, preferences, perspectives. It shaked everything up. I used to prefer working with people who think like me, speak my language, and share the same culture. And now, I'm seriously considering opening a business with people from all over the world. Crazy, right? I used to prefer that because since we share a lot of similarities, we can feel comfortable around each other and so make a better team. But comfort is not always the best option. A study conducted by LinkedIn proves that diverse teams make better decisions 78% of the time and are 35% more productive. Looking back, I can't believe how only 4 months shifted my perspective in many different ways. And it took me only one step each time. One step to learn how to cross the street. One step to give and take opportunities. One step to welcome new ideas. And one step to harness the power of cross-cultural exchange. So let's take this one step together. Let's celebrate our differences. Let's learn from one another. Let's leave our comfort zones, not just for ourselves, but for a world that deserves the unity, innovation, growth that this powerful exchange brings. I know that many of you sitting in this room are living in the same bubble I was living in, and that's okay. If you are that person, I want you to be the change. I want you to take that one step. Meet these diverse people, learn from them, teach them, work with that team, move to that country, be that cross-cultural leader, be the change, and step out of your bubble. Thank you.